Alright guys, ICC Cup Fits back with another cast replay of the week between March 26, 2012 up till April 1st or April Fool's Day 2012. So without further ado, our players are going to be meongmeong, the yellow Protoss, spawning in the top right, and in the bottom right we have the awesome color orange Terran, Mame, or Mame, and he's going to be averaging 254, maxing at 339, and what's his, meongmeong is going to be averaging 275 and maxing at 346. So the map is Fighting Spirit, and this will be game number 3 of Replay of the Week. Your main is ginormous, so you can have plenty of room to put whatever you'd like in here. Your natural is pretty easy to secure. This map is also pretty big, so you'll see a lot of forge fast expands, a lot of one barracks and fast expand. You'll see a lot of fast expands, and there will normally fast expand. Your third's up here on the high ground, which is I'll hold off by this location. Now, to note, Meong is probably not going to expand down his third because he'll be expanding to his opponent. So he'll probably take an expand over here, around over that location there. Just to note there, as spawn locations, we'll probably do that. Favored, I mean, it probably favors the Terran because he'll be able to bunker in much easier. For a defensive standpoint, it'll be very hard for the Protoss to play defensive. However, if it is a TVP, which it is, most likely Protoss will not be being too aggressive. So it looks like we'll be seeing a standard forge fast expand, nothing too smanty. Actually, I'd be going for a Nexus first, going a little greedy. I mean, again, this map is pretty big, so we'll have to see what he's actually up to. He didn't actually put the pylon down here, so I'll be interested in what he actually plans to do with that. If he is actually just going to be going for more of a pressure with the gateway, which it looks like he might be. Pretty schmancy stuff going around here. Now, again, this might be more of a go-through replay. I don't know exactly when these things were played. I just have hashing giving these to me. So, now for ICC Cup news, if you guys also didn't realize, Box is not with us today, or this game, so that is because he's busy playing League of Legends. I hope you enjoyed that co-cast. Hopefully we can get him on a little bit more. Hopefully, while he was a little out of tune, our co-casting wasn't completely in sync either, which kind of led for somewhat of a more awkward cast. But hopefully, it wasn't too distracting to you guys. And he's still learning. He's a StarCraft 2 buddy of mine, but he really likes to cast. So I just thought, he did play some Brood War back in the old days when when StarCraft 2 didn't exist. So yeah, pretty much how that goes. The thing I should actually correct myself on, when I said a forge fast expand, the reason is I've been seeing so many TVZs lately. That's the reason why I come to that assumption. Here, he might not have to go a forge fast expand because most likely the Terran's going to be going mech, which is what you normally go in TVP, so we're not going to be seeing a forge fast expand most of the time because the Terran tends to bunker in. You don't normally see a bio push from the Terran, so it really depends. I mean, even you can see here that the machine shop's already going in here, so probably even getting those tank numbers up, and there's a second factor going down. So, nothing out of the ordinary. It wouldn't be a surprise for him to start pumping out Dragoons, which he's doing, and range should probably start fairly shortly. 345-ish timing normally tends to be it. Now, I hope, I'm going to try to, I had one of our new casters, ICC Cup Frost, or Iron Frost, made this nice little banner for us in the top and like up here maybe. I might be placing in videos. Maybe not for the replay of the week because we're not going to be having any extra statistics on each of the players, like what team it is, but it might be like the ICC, like the team name. It'll be kind of small, but I'll have to see how I can incorporate that into it. And so it's legible, because I know when I upload them to YouTube, sometimes the quality is somewhat lost, just because I don't like making the file sizes that massive so I can get the videos out that much quicker. Also, sometimes it tends to be my computer shuts down. Now, Protoss looks like he's going to be doing regular stuff. Oddly enough, he will have to tank, though, and so he should be able to deal with this Dragoon push. He has to watch out for the Zealots, though, as they could do some damage to the Marines, but if this barracks can be placed down, now if you guys didn't know, Siege Tank unsieged as will indeed outrange the Dragoon. It looks like he's still going to want to try to apply that pressure, though. See if he can try to break through this. If he could, that would be really nice. But most of the time with the higher league games, as this one appears to be, he should be okay, and I don't see how this could be doing too much damage, as he does have 3 tanks that are pretty fairly early, too. But he wants to be careful. He doesn't want to lose that tank, which could be really bad if he loses that tank, and he does lose it, and that's a nice victory for the Protoss right there, because now that's just another 150 to 100 gas, which is really, I mean, when you're one-basing as a Terran, it's hard to, you know, come back from, especially when you're trying to constantly rebuild, getting the upgrades for everything. And it looks like he's going to be pushing up here anyway, though, even though he lost a tank here. Does he have siege mode, though? He does not. It just started. So this push, I mean, it's looking pretty hard for him to deal with, but it looks like this is more of an all-in kind of attempt with the SCVs in here as well. Doing that much damage. It looks like that Dragoon will fall, and that SCV is really kind of making the AI blocking. He will have a shield battery in here for response to this, though, which is always a nice little touch. He wants to be careful not to lose these Dragoons, though, as he really wants to get that shield battery going. Will he use it, though? I'm kind of interested, and it looks like he's going to be pushing up here. Tank will go down, though, and he's being very, very cautious about not running into those spider mines, though. But now he's going to have to retreat back into his base. Now there's spider mines around his base. It's going to be hard for him to push up here. He wants to be careful not to run on these spider mines, but I believe he knows the positioning of that. Terran is still yet to expand. It looks like he might just be doing that right now. It doesn't actually, nope, doesn't look like that guy really wants to do that. So we'll have to see. He's actually in range. Oh, and he wants to be, oh, and it does connect, and that's really going to do that splash damage. And, oh, but it doesn't quite kill off the Dragoon, but that's really going to soften up those Dragoons for him. Now, but important to note, though, the Protoss is still mining off this base right now. Protoss behind the scenes is getting a shuttle, maybe some Reaver drop play into this. He actually has to pull probes here, which is never a good thing, but he does break it. He does break the siege line, though. Will another tank be down, though? He doesn't seem to be producing any more tanks right now, so I wonder if he's going to be able to deal with this nice probe positioning so they can't get in, but he might lose a couple probes. And now he's not mining at his natural, which is really, really going to cut him back here. But he has to wait for these Dragoons to pop, because he won't, or not pop, because they're not. This isn't. But look at this spider mine. This is, how does he get around this? He really can't. He has to be very careful, being very cautious as it is. But vultures are pretty good. He one might get in there, and oh, that spider mine will probably connect. Will it connect though? Oh, he actually just lost a couple of his vultures. Now there's only 2 in there. Might be able to get the mineral line there and going to be doing a lot of damage probably. Nice evacuation, and this should be able to be cleaned up fairly easily. But now there's spider mines around. Now Terran's going to be expanding out himself. He'll have 2 more tanks ready. Is he still continuing to produce bio? He is not. So it looks like he's going to be going for this ongoing push. This game has been pretty interesting so far. You don't see a lot of Broodor matches with this kind of early game pressure going on, especially this kind of successful push, at least. Which it's always a welcome sight to see here, and I can see why this is the replay of the week, and definitely this is going to be one of my favorite games. He does have 2 machine shops, which technically breaks the rule of 1 base per machine shop right now, because he didn't fully have that operational quite yet. And now there's siege tanks here, and he only has 2 Dragoons. No, he has 4 Dragoons. I take that back. I am sorry, but now it's really going to be hard. Nice little spread going on. He's even getting a missile turret in there, so. Will he be able, missile turret to spot the observer, and yeah, this is looking really difficult for the Protoss to really deal with. He hasn't lost this natural yet, but he's not mining. That's the important thing. He's going to try to fire this down, but will he get it? It looks like he will. More tanks, I don't know where they are. It doesn't look like he's building any more tanks right now. Just more vultures to see if they can do more damage. Are they in the base? They are! He does have a Reaver here. Will it be able to connect, though? And will his Reaver micro be good enough? That's the important thing, but it looks like it will be. He has to just be careful, because a Scarab, especially with mineral lines, really doesn't like to work well. And now there's more vultures in here. It's really being difficult here. These spider mines are being very, very pesky for meongmeong to deal with, and yeah, it looks like they're gonna be back in the base here. He does have a Reaver though, and oh, vultures are so fast. Will it connect though? It will, and it's really stopped all this mining and getting all these kills right here. 2 kills off that little vulture being cost effective for itself, having 25 minerals being cost effective. Will he even get a third kill? He will. So that definitely vulture pay for itself, and he's still mining here. There's been no harass to speak of. And wow, I think I think he's broke the Protoss. I don't think he can really do anything right now. He keeps on losing his Dragoon number, so he's not going to have a sufficient amount to deal with this, and he just has to be really careful. He doesn't want to lose really anything right now, and tanks are going to be in here. He might be able to do some damage. It looks like, will he be able to break the siege line, though, because he will have 2 tanks, though, and he's continuing to streamline stuff, even a couple SCVs in the mix here, and let's see here. Will that shuttle go down, though? Oh, will that... It will not connect. That Scarab, excuse me. And ooh, he does lose a tank, though. Oh, wow. Even SCV is getting in the mix here and just trying to micro the best of his ability he can. Oh, but a Vulture slips through here. Probably going to get a potential 1 or 2 kills. No, got to go for the Observatory. I don't know quite why. Even going to getting a Spider Mine in the mix, but they will not go off due to probes, which is what I have found out. And you're going to be putting down 2. Yeah, and this Terran push is looking very, very deadly. Still, even just starting to rally the units over, feeling very confident with this push. He could even expand once more off this, and the Protoss having so much trouble with this. And the shuttle will finally go down. And, yeah, this is going to be really hard for him to deal with it right now. Protoss has yet to get no more tech going. He's still producing more Dragoons. But he's really not being able to... The supply count is 48 to 67. Oh, and he just loses... And there's the Korean GG, and meongmeong leaves the game with a Korean GG. That was a pretty entertaining game, guys. For the F-Tog or fifth tip of the game right here. meongmeong, I mean, I know this is like, I believe all of these games are ghost replays of what ICC Cup or IC Cup rates them as. But I did notice you went out with some units that you could have potentially just stockpiled back. You could have, that's one thing to improve on. The other thing is in this situation, he could have potentially, since he had a Reaver and a Shuttle, he could have done Reaver harass, and then which would have to force the Terran back, which would allow him to, you know, macro up. But again, no matter if you're a pro, you're Gosu, or D rank, multitasking in StarCraft is difficult. And I'm not going to say it's easy to go macro on top of doing active Reaver harass. So it's going to be hard. But, you know, I think this was a very well thought out plan by Mame or Mame. I really have to say, I have to hand it to him. I'm surprised this push isn't more mainstream into ladder, because it's so good against it. Because if you just push out with a couple tanks, and being careful with the Spider Mine placement, it's, you know, it's a pretty powerful push. And I don't think current metagame with the going for the Dragoon, where the Dragoon, it's kind of like a one-base play actually when I think about it. Then he finally took his expand later game when he did pressure. But yeah, it was a very interesting build. I don't know exactly where the build came from, if it's new or old. I'm just surprised by it, because current metagame in TVP, TVP, Terran tends to play more passive, and then Protoss tends to be, alright, we'll try to get ranged Dragoons going, see if we can do some damage. But I mean, once they get Siege Tank up, it's like, and they be aggressive with it, it's so hard to deal with. And then you get the missile turrets. This seemed like a pretty unstoppable push. I wouldn't know how to deal with it right now, but hopefully maybe metagame will change. Who knows? But yeah, great game. Sorry, I've been going on for way too long. This game was only minutes and 30 seconds, probably 15 minutes now, this video. So I'm going to say my goodbyes, my farewells. We'll be back with game number 4, replay of the week, which will be our Rudin S loves Rudin, or Rudin S loves Rudin's S love, whatever. It's going to be a PVT versus by Hydra. So we're going to have another pro match. By Hydra is one of the few pro players I know of Brood War. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching, and ICC Cup TV. We'll be back shortly. And have a nice day, guys. Peace.